Okay, hello, we're back. And the last signed date I had on this illustration, which I am revamping right now. I'm redoing it, upgrading it, revamping. I like the word upgrade. I just don't like the word revamp. I don't know why. But the last date I had was December 2017. That was the first finished version was December 2017. So that was the end of 2017. So now it is 2019, and it's like mid 2019. So it was like a year and a half ago. Jeez, whoa, wow, it was like a year and a half. But within that time, and this is good news, I feel like there's so much more that could be improved upon this with things that I know now. And I already did a bunch of it. I've redone the Wooter here. The older version, I should probably bring it up. I put this in, it's going to be in my upcoming book. Is it this one? Yeah, okay. Sorry for a little squeaking noise in the background. So this is not bad. This is the original version that, well, the first final draft, I guess. The thing is, you can go on forever if you want to. Let me see if I can zoom in a bit here. I do think this version has a lot more just pizzazz to it. It has more contrast. The characters kind of pop out more. If you go back here, here's the other one. I know it's kind of hard when I'm the one in control here. It's like this versus this. So here's the older one. If you look at it, it's a little bit. If you look around the Wooder area here, and then I'm going to flip it to the new Wooder area here. See, there's a lot more sharpness in there, and just the overall color of everything. It kind of looks like a fake stage. Like they make a painting on the back of a play stage as a backdrop for the actors. Whereas this one, I hope I'm getting a bit more depth in there. Okay, so I tapped the tab key, by the way, if you're learning GIMP. You can always tap the tab key to go into that full screen mode. It's really nice. Let's see. So just a couple more things. One thing I thought that would be great, I want to look at this fire here. One thing I did, a change with the fire is I realized the older version, the fire was a lot more wavy. Fire should basically be going upward. It generates a lot of heat, and heat travels up, right? Another thing I thought was cool is that fire has smoke. Now, is the smoke on that same layer? Yeah, it is. I just thought, what if you zoomed in and you could see skulls? You know what I mean? Like it coming out of that. Like, it'd be ominous. So I'm going to try that. Anyway. I have a special way of taking a sort of charcoal brush like this. And that's actually not too bad. But I prefer to set it to random angle. So it constantly rotates while I'm working on it. That gives us a more randomized, more natural kind of feeling. So what do I feel up here? Let me do it on a separate layer. See what happens. If the skulls, it would have to be, it's not like I'm drawing the blackness of the skull. I'm working around, right, something like this. So I'm trying to draw like, I'm not sure if I can put this in words even. Right. So I'm not drawing the blackness of the skull, I'm drawing around. I'm drawing the whiteness, which is unusual, right? Usually you draw in the black parts of the eyes, and or maybe not, I don't know. I could even copy and paste that one. I think I will. And copy paste. Move them around. Rotate them a bit. Where's rotate? It's over here. There's too many keys. I'm starting to change my mind about this. I actually do limit myself to approximately, I don't know how many. Well, actually, I use the whole number pad because I'm left-handed. So I'm using approximately 9. There's like, 1 through 9 numbers on the number pad on the keyboard. And obviously, you can't work like this on a tablet or anything. So, see how they're faint? I don't know if I really like this idea. It was just something that came to my mind all of a sudden. So, but it will be cool if it's a secret. Like only the cool kids know about. Let me copy and paste a couple of these. I'll bring one down here. Another one over here. Just like that. Right. So, all of those, let's merge them all down. There is an easier way to do this, but I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, merge down. Merge down. Is that it? One more here? Yeah. Merge down. I'll call this layer skulls so I don't forget real quick. Or don't get confused because there's a lot of layers here. Now with those there, I can take my blending, the finger smudge tool. I don't know if I hover over here, what's it say? Smudge tool. Sometimes I get my oh, sorry. I just stopped in mid-sentence. Sometimes I get my Photoshop words mixed up with my with the other words. That's all I meant to say. So, yeah, I get the vocabulary mixed up. And then I'm just going to make it very, very, very faint. So it's like a secret. Not everyone has to know about this, right? It's our secret little skulls in here. And it's ominous because I've already done a couple videos on this whole illustration. I think this is Achilles in the background, and I guess he's like a demigod, half god or something. I'm not sure. Chiron is definitely a god, or he's immortal. Those are the words that There's I guess there's a distinction between being immortal and being a demigod, and stuff like that just adds a little mystique to it. Since we're doing this type of stuff with all the magic and the mystery and the what would you call it? Like well, it's mythology, right? Why not add as much as we possibly can? So I like the skulls. Another thing I noticed just recently, because I have to finish this. I have to. This cannot go on for much longer. If you zoom in here, that simply does not look like a starry night. This here, it was kind of intentional. This is a very good representation of the Sagittarius constellation, which is Chiron, this character on the left. But, excuse me, however, not good enough. Because I just can't leave this like that. Let me get a different brush. There has to be like layers, Let me try applying jitter. There should be like billions of stars everywhere. I want the jitter to be as high as I could possibly get it. The new GIMP, this is 2.10, I believe. I'm not happy with the way, first of all, I have to make that a new layer. I'm just not happy with the jitter. Jitter used to be perfect for making stars, and now it's not. And that's basically the end of that story. It was good, and now it's not. I don't know why they decided to change it like that. I'm going to go for light blue. Get also some light blue stars back in there. And the important thing with the stars, and the reason this isn't working, is it has to look like there are layers and layers of stars. So there's like, the phrase counting stars itself means an impossible task because there are so many stars. And there should be like layers of them, so you can see them like way, way, way off, sheets upon sheets of stars, something like that. So whenever you look at it and you can see dot, 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 literally start to count them, that's when you know there's a problem. So I use a little bit of this this tool here. I'm going to choose some different colors. I'll get some in between the tree leaves here, perhaps. Not that much. If you get lower, closer towards... This is actually kind of wrong for this reason, but when you get closer towards the Earth here, I think it should you should not see as many stars. There's usually like light coming up from there, and it'll block out the vision. I'm not 100% accurate on it. And then the other problem is going to be the night sky here. I want to make it darker because I made the rest of the scene darker. So I was thinking, what if I just took a black and let me put it over. But this can cause multiple problems because that moon is kind of in the way. Let's try, actually not at all a black. I was totally wrong about that. Let me just take the darkest blue I have there and make it much darker like that. Yeah, that's all we need. And I'll go back to my gradient tool on linear and try and drag down like that. That's an improvement if you ask me. So I can hide the layer. Yeah, that's not dark enough. I'm trying to make a night sky here. But the way that the moon works there, I think we can work with it because I have a circle tool here. I'm just going to come in and try and grab that. I hate to do things manually like this, I really do. But I already flattened the moon onto that layer. And of course you're going to say, why would you do that? The thing is, look at how many layers I have over here on the right. When you get too many layers, it starts to bog down memory. Even though I think I have like 16 or plus gigabytes. I had 8 gigabytes. I thought that was enough, and I got more put in, and they only had another like 8 gigabyte stick, so I'm stuck with 16 for the moment. But I really think that should be enough. I don't know. That works. I'm okay with that. I think that's an improvement. Another thing was the leaves. I'm just jumping through here and seeing what I can get done. They look a bit too... Well, they just don't look like they've been attended to, do they? On a slightly different color. Just add a... Well, I've got that jitter still on. A little bit of individuality to them, right? Now, if you think about it, the fire should be illuminating up, 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 up. I can pick one of these existing colors I had, I guess. And is it not painting? Paint. Yeah, it's painting. I was on like only 1 pixel, large brush. Right, there we go. Just so, I don't know. You know, honestly, there isn't much. I don't think it's worth it to, if you have to sit there and draw each and every single leaf. Where are we going? We're competing with the digital age now. You know, they automatically, or as they say, procedurally generate. That's funny that they care about that. That's where I separate myself from the geeks. When you start to make a big deal about the difference between randomly generate and procedurally generate, you win. I give up. I quit. You win the geek trophy. I officially do not care. But no, yeah, they randomly and procedurally generate stuff with computers that can do all this work I'm doing here. But, you know, if you were to ask somebody to use purely, I'm using digital means here, but to use purely, 3D CGI type of modeling to recreate the scene I'm using here, even using, whatever kind of, what's the word I'm looking at? Algorithms or existing models and templates so that they wouldn't have to do the work from scratch, all that kind of stuff. Even still, they're going to find themselves in trouble being able to keep up with me at the rate I can work. And I think as a result of the technology they require to get the job done, they might also, and the education time it takes them to learn how to do all that stuff. And I know this because I've done it before. I studied Blender, very, very good software, if you ask me. I'm sure somebody will argue another one is better. They always do. That's okay. Good for them. But Blender, I learned my lesson with Blender. I said, okay, that's it. I'm done. Holy cow. I rendered 1 or 2 images with it, and then I was done. That was enough. Another thing I wanted to do, that helps a little. I don't really love it, but it works. I was trying to say earlier, I never finished my sentences. I used the dodge or burn tool on the fire here to help to illuminate it a bit. I wonder if that would work on the moon. Is it dodge? I always get them mixed up. Dodge or burn. Let me try it right here. Yeah, it makes it brighter. See what that does? I just don't know. It's magic. For me, that's just magic. I don't know how they do it. I could never do that with brushes, I mean, how do they do that? It's amazing. But I like it when just the first pass. I don't like it when I do it too much. I frequently hear it said, be careful. That's what they say. They say, be careful with this. But the moon doesn't have to be that brilliant, really. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little torn on that one. I don't know. Should I leave it like that? Should I just leave it like that? Maybe a little bit over here? Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to do that. And then, I have already spent a lot of time. One of my big problems was just making the background leaves and trees look a lot more random. As you can see in this older version, it just looks like, it just looks like a glob of green stuff. Doesn't look like random shrubbery or forestry or anything. So I already did that. I think it's good enough. And it is just the background. But, however, one thing I did still want to work on was this. If I can. This might not work. But I'm going to try to use, I want to make sure I'm on the right layer, the smudge tool. Will it work? I don't know if I can do this. See how I painted out each and every little wave in here, every little ripple, and you can kind of tell. I was just wondering if I use the smudge tool to smear it up a bit. I probably should have used it from the very beginning. Or is that just going to confuse things? Let me try. This is an experiment. Let me try going all the way back, not too far. How many steps back did I just go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that changed everything on the moon too. Okay, anyway. Let me just go like this. No. I want to make it bigger. Smear like that, smear like that. Now, see, that obviously does not. That doesn't help at all. But, if I go a bit like this, a bit like that. You know what I mean? Just a little. Is that? Yes. It's an improvement. I have to say that's an improvement. So it's just blurred out a bit, yeah. That's how it should be. Because you don't want it to, yeah, that's how water should look. It shouldn't be so easy to just detect. Your eye shouldn't be able to count the ripples, right? Similar to the whole phenomenon with the stars. You shouldn't be able to count them. Likewise, you shouldn't be able to distinguish each and every little ripple of water so easily. It's a hard thing to look at. Okay, and I'll bring that technique over here as well. Yes. All right. These are all improvements. I'm happy with that. And that was it. Oh yeah, and his I can't remember what it's called. Chiron is the character. This thing, it's a turtle shell instrument. And I just wanted to raise the contrast on it a bit. It looks a little pale. Although admittedly the turtle is perhaps dead. But we can give him a little texture. And we're still in a random angle brush. Yeah. This might get tricky. I'm wondering. Yeah, it's just not the right color. Or I could do this as, we can change the mode to overlay. This is a really good trick. See that? Now when I do overlay, I can paint right over it, and it maintains the blacks and the lights in kind of a way. I'm not sure exactly how to describe it, but it enables you to add color without ruining all of the light and shade that you might have existing there already. That much I can say. I think turtle shells are a bit more designed. If not even, I don't care. I'm just going to assume that they are. You know, like, not like a mandala, but something like a pattern, right? So it's almost like a scale. I don't know if they're called scales, but each shell piece might have a bit of its own pattern to it, in addition to having separate scales like this. What do you call that? Yeah, that's better. So now at least when I look at that from a distance, it doesn't feel like I'm just looking at a sloppy shell someone threw together. Am I on the right painting here? This is version 2, right? Why did it suddenly... Did I undo one of these layers? I like the skulls. I'm going to keep them. Let me look back at the other one. Yeah, my eyes just got used to the darkness of this one, I guess. And then I kind of want to make it even darker still. But I'm not going to. I'm going to redo the signature on this, and I'm going to upload it, and then I'm done. Done. I might come back. I do get obsessive. For example, I look over here at that tree and yada yada yada. See how dark it is over here? Let me select that color. I think I flattened the entire background into one. Right. And if I use a leafy texture back here and set it on random angle, and I'm still on, where am I? Overlay mode. That didn't help at all. Am I on? Oh yeah, it's on the wrong brush. Texture, I meant this one. And set the opacity way, way down. Actually, I could put it on a separate layer. I have to undo the redo, okay. This might work just to satisfy my, whatever it is that's bothering me. I just want to darken that up a little bit. Raise the opacity. I guess. I don't know. From a distance, it's okay. Yeah, I'll just leave it like that. I have one of these. I have an idea. I know there's a reason. Sometimes there's sort of a feathering effect that happens with vegetation. And you can see the layers, right? It's like 1, 2, 3. It's a natural phenomenon. I just wanted that to be a bit more detailed. And once again, grab a darker color and fill in some of this back here. Should be enough, just a bit. I almost want to undo some of that. So I want it to be too, zoom in so you can see it. I don't want it to be popping out too much, because the attention should be in the foreground here. It's just some vegetation. Yeah, so I'll lower the opacity on that a bit and merge down. Merge down. That, okay. Yep. I'm going to upload that. show you how I do my signature. This one is version 2, so I can just delete that layer. I hit delete already. Yep. Oh, and as always, I have my skulls. Let me lock all of these layers. What is this layer? Oh, this was extra stars. This one is for the extra darkness. And we go ahead and I want to have as, not to say as few layers as possible, but I just don't want to have too many, you know? It's just too much sometimes. Okay, so with these layers locked together, I can flip the canvas, see if there's anything that pops out at me. So what happens is your eyes get used to looking, your eyes get used to looking at things from a certain angle. Let me go background here. Pop. I need a lighter color, higher opacity. That, oh, it's on overlay mode. Back to normal. Yes. I just want to put some highlights back here. Just a few. So I'm going to choose some of these lighter colors. Put them on the trees. Ah, not that one. It's a bit too dull back in that corner. Bring the opacity down a bit. Randomize the greens, which I use as highlights, so that they don't all end up looking like the same tree again. I bring the opacity down real low. You just hit some small spots. I'll zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. It's very subtle. It's not important, but my eyes just get bothered when I see that. Okay. Right, back to the original position. I'm good. What I mean by that is I feel happy. I'm going to come in with an appropriate color to do a signature. I'll use this this brush. I want the dynamics to be on pressure size. And what? I can't fix my toolbox here. Sometimes it falls out of place. You gotta snap it back in there. It won't work. Did I lock up? Oh. I'll fix it later. That happens sometimes. Did I hit a lock button? Oh my god. It says right here, drop dialogues here. I'm trying. Okay, anyway. I was just about to wrap this up. So let me just choose a color on the canvas that won't stand out. I want to put the signature right here. And so I guess one of these blues will stand out a bit. Did that even work? Oh no, opacity is way down. There. And then I can just make it a bit stronger so it shouldn't offend the rest of the painting. And the size, is that working? Yeah, okay. So this is normally what I do, just like this. Put B. I don't like that. You know, I'm just going to use... No, I can't use black. I can't use that blue either. So it won't show up against there. So it'll... Let me... I'll just... You know what's easy? Default answer for this is use whatever color will show up. And white will definitely show up here. Okay. So don't want it to be too big. And then... You know, everyone has their own way writing their signature. But one thing I like to do is to get the date on there, because even I will not remember. Oh, I forgot the K. It has to be long. Even I will not remember. And so it is, well, just the month and the year is what I usually put. And it is currently July. Next month, my daughter's birthday. Very happy. She'll be 2. June. I just said July, and then that one is too high. Oh my god. Can you imagine if I wasn't on digital? How many times I just have to redo the whole thing? 20. I can do better when I'm careful on paper. It's just so convenient to get lazy. Yeah, so that's that. And I'm happy with the signature itself. I just want to move it over a bit. And then I have it locked on that layer. Move it over to the corner. And the bush there. Right. I'll turn down the opacity. Yes. So it doesn't stand out too much. That's good. And then I just want that to fit layer to image size. Okay, good. That's it. We'll see you in the next episode. Lots of more exciting stuff coming up soon. And I might do a little extra work on this later, but I'm definitely going to upload this one right now. Just don't feel right about myself if I don't get something new or fresh updated every once in a while. See you soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and please help me by sharing my stuff. I have books, a book, and new courses coming out soon. Everything has been going well so far, so I'm happy to keep on working and sharing. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Goodbye. Bye.